Welcome back to Tailgate Sports Media, the premier podcast for sports, mostly football, and the most important part of sports, the tailgate. I'm Devin. This is my good friend Ray, and we are back for episode 31. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get into NBA in a minute, but I'll let you know I'm going to be in my chair like this all day because I'm in a good mood because the Spurs, belt to ass,
Oh, oh yes, sir.
belt to ass. We had a little short that went out where we talked about the definition of belt to ass, how people misuse it. It is not a misuse today. Belt to ass.
Not at
We'll get
all.
into that later. First of all, the most important part of every episode. Raymond, how's your week been?
It's been all right. It's been pretty good. Uh,
Pretty
you
good.
know, MLQ just released their roster. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Got
Okay. All
uh
right.
got no idea what any of these names mean for the team, but the top comment is no one's getting our trophy, and I feel good. I feel good about that. They're hung,
I do. Hell yeah. Hell
a
yeah.
lot of universally across sports, it's easy. You got your championship. You don't really need to put in a lot of work. You're champions. You know, the resume speaks for itself, not us. No one's getting the trophy again.
No one's getting this trophy.
No one's
For a
getting.
sport that I've spent one night watching, actually watching,
Yep.
I've never been more invested in a championship run.
It is my goal by the end of the season for us to be talking about ball movement, defense, uh, penalty, time of possessions, all of that. I want to be over here going, New York had a really good offense and they're gonna be a contender going into the playoffs, but I'm not quite sure about the beaters of Chicago.
I like that. I don't like that. I love that. And that's
And
that's a goal for this for this
you know what?
small mom and pop podcast.
You know what? To emphasize that hunger, let me show you what I did this week. You want to know how my
Oh
week went?
no.
I'll show you how my week went. I just sent that to you to emphasize my investment and to show the camera for two more payments of 1997.
Well, my camera's not gonna pick it up at all,
Yeah.
but
For two more payments in 1997, my 2025 San Antonio Soldados kit will be delivered.
Raymond, I love where you're at. I love where you're at. Putting the uniform on layaway though is wild work.
No, it's not on layaway. I just financed it.
Just financing.
It's on its way. I just financed it.
Financing it sounds worse because it makes it sound like you're paying interest.
That's fair. No interest on this. I checked.
No interest. Okay, all right, we're
We're
good.
just we're just broke and we can't pay full jersey prices.
Hell yeah, brother. Living that broke life.
Yep.
Um, that's Raymond with the MLQ update. Uh, Sports news outside of the big stuff going on right now. I will apologize to our many, many fans that we're not covering the NHL playoffs. Not a hockey guy. Don't think I've ever watched a full hockey game in my life. Haven't been to a hockey game.
You know what? Me neither.
Exactly. It'd be a disservice to pretend like I cared that much. NBA playoffs though. Oh no, before we get to the playoffs, our only bit of NFL news, Fernando Mendoza says he will not go to the White House with the rest of his Indiana teammates. Not a political statement. He says, "Hey,
Not at all.
I can't miss practice."
It's a man who's focused on his job.
That's a man. That's a man that's focused on work, and we knew he would be.
Man's
He's
got a
America's
mission.
Heisman.
Yep. Mendoza said, "Job's not finished.
Job's not finished.
Just started."
No mission accomplished here.
Yeah. He has not caught and
Uh,
compromised to a permanent end his championship.
Correct. 100%. Let's look at this NBA playoff bracket and where we stand.
Oh, we're standing pretty good.
So we already knew the Thunder advanced. The Lakers advanced over the Rockets.
Yep.
As of right now, the Rockets lead that series 1-0. It was a good game for the most part.
You mean the Thunder?
Um,
Rockets are gone. Rockets are fishing.
yeah, sorry. Thunder and Lakers. Yeah, you right. My bad. Hand up. Hand up. Um, Thunder up to a 1-0 lead over the Lakers. And I'm blanking on his name right now, but he nasty dislocation on his hand. Um,
Yeah, let me get
Never
some.
good. Hopefully he's got a full recovery, but I doubt we see him anytime soon. Did you see that?
I did not, so I'm gonna get some information on you and back you up with a name, Unc.
Yeah, back me with the name. He goes up for the block, and he's getting the block, and his hand is coming by the backboard, and his pinky caught the backboard, but his
Oh,
hand went all the way through. He goes down, grabs his hand immediately. He's very obviously in pain. You can hear him yelling. And when he turns to the Thunder bench, everyone that was looking looked away, and it was a very immediate
no,
reaction.
you hate those. When the bench reacts, you know it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. So what I heard was it was a full pinky dislocation to the point where the bone was poking out.
Ooh,
So not a break is what I've heard. I haven't been updated on it, but not a break, but a full dislocation, bone through skin. Trigger warning, by the way. Normally put those before, I'll put it afterwards so you know why you're being triggered.
yeah.
Um,
That'd be Jared Vanderbilt
yes.
suffers gruesome finger injury versus the Thunder.
Yeah, I haven't seen what it actually looked like. I don't think anyone really could, unless you're, trying to really snoop really hard, and I'm not. But the immediate reaction from the bench was a good indication. Um, yeah, so hopefully quick recovery. Doubtful we see him again in these playoffs. Um, and then we'll skip the other series and we'll go over to the Eastern Conference. Pistons and Cavaliers get it done from last week when we were still calling these games. Pistons up 1-0 over the Cavaliers. Pistons looked a lot more like a
The
number
number
one
one
seed
seed.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah, they looked a lot more like number one seed should in against their first game against the Cavaliers. See how that goes. And then Knicks versus the 76ers. 76ers obviously pulled off the upset over the team that I'm thinking about right now, who they beat.
The
But
the Knicks 76ers,
Knicks 76ers, and I believe the 76ers beat the Boston Celtics.
137-98 Knicks. Knicks are leading that series 2-0 right now.
Yeah. So good job on upsetting the Boston Celtics. Turns out the Boston Celtics were not the were they weren't it.
We're
They
not it.
weren't they were not it. Yeah, Knicks up 2-0. I believe they will play again. I believe they would play again tomorrow.
Let's see. I have Knicks Sixers tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 76ers better win that one, otherwise it's going to be done for.
They
And then
going
to our favorite series, we
Yup.
have no biases except for when we do, and we
Absolutely
do have a
not.
bias on this one. Timberwolves versus Spurs. Anthony Edwards does end up playing in game one. It ends up being a really good game.
Really.
Talk about like 90s, early 2000s basketball. It was the first time I've watched a like I haven't watched a lot of basketball. I've kind of tuned in for the playoffs, and I've been watching the Spurs play and a few other games here. That was the one game where I was like, oh, this feels like when I was growing up watching basketball. It
Yeah.
was a great game,
You remember
mainly because the three
Spurs?
pointer
You remember
wasn't
Spurs
as lethal.
Pistons?
Spurs Pistons, yes, felt
Perfectly
just like that.
perfect comparison. Spurs Pistons.
Yep, you would love a Spurs Pistons again this year. It would be a great game. Um, Timberwolves steal one. Spurs missed the game-winning three-pointer at the end of game one. They were down 9 with like 3 minutes left. They end up fighting back, make some great plays, get the steal off Anthony Edwards. He had the Ant-Man kind of had a bad inbound or pass in, whatever. I can't figure. I think it's
Yeah.
inbound. I'm not a basketball guy. I enjoy watching it when it's not 140 to 150, but
Yeah.
uh, I
I mean,
also enjoy watching it when it's 140 to 90-ish,
yeah.
which is what the Spurs did in game two. They came back hot. Wemby was like, why block the ball 15 times when I can just score a bunch of points? Wemby and Fox both looked a lot better on the offensive side. And the Timberwolves basically set all their starters in the fourth quarter. It was over. They conceded that one. They're like, might as well rest our guy up. Anthony Edwards, the Ant Man. I'm sorry, calling him the Ant Man.
Yeah,
Uh, because it's
everybody else
amazing.
does.
Everyone else does. I'm the only one calling him by his full government name.
Mm.
Uh, that's on me. Hand up. Um, yeah, he's still on limited minutes. He looked good for the first game. Second game was struggling again, so those knees might be hurt.
Yeah, might have
They will.
used all his mana on that first game.
Yeah, he hadn't recovered all his mana. He had taken a short rest, not a long rest.
Yeah,
Got a couple spell slots back, and has not been able to get a full rest to completely
yeah.
heal up.
He was
So he
he was
is
burning
working
level
on
four
that.
spell slots on that first game.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He maxed out a couple fours, and so you always got your cantrips. But these are D&D jokes, guys. These are D&D jokes in the middle of our sports podcast.
Yeah, just sprinkle a
Just to
little
let
on
you
top.
know,
We're well rounded.
just to let you know what kind of sports fan we are. We may not know everybody's name, but we can make D&D comparisons. Um, yeah, Spurs belt to ass game two. Everyone was worried about the Timberwolves experience versus a young Spurs. Spurs just got to steal one on the road now, which when you beat someone by 50, doesn't matter where you're at, you could probably beat them at home. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow night, Friday.
I mean,
Um,
on that note, can we just say one thing? If we're not gonna be biased, can we just say one thing?
okay,
City of San Antonio.
brother,
It's game
it,
two. Honking used to be sacred.
it used to mean
It,
something when you went honking.
it's it's game two. I understand. I'm excited as well. I value a Spurs win just as much as the next guy. It is
Yep.
game two. Some of you may be too young, but we gotta act like we've been here before.
Oh, yep.
All this stuff is valid when we win the finals.
I'll let you get it if we make it. If we make it to the finals, go do a
You know what?
pre-honk.
Yeah,
Go do a practice run. Go honk. We were honking after the first win in the first round.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not a local to San Antonio and you're not sure what honking is, I don't know if anyone else really does honking. People will like to go down a street, particularly Military Drive in San Antonio, and they'll drive slow and they'll honk their horns to celebrate a Spurs win. Typically
No, no,
reserved
no.
for finals.
Yes, a Spurs playoff series win. It's very
Yes,
specific. It used to be a Spurs finals win.
it's like climbing a greased up pole in Philadelphia after an Eagles
Exactly.
Super Bowl.
Exactly.
It's burning a car in Canada after you win a big match in hockey. Um, it's stuff like that, you know?
This is the
Uh,
equivalent of if someone was climbing a grease pole in Philadelphia for a week two win.
yeah, yeah. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Get on the internet, make fun of the Cowboys. You didn't play them this week, but you're gonna make fun of the Cowboys. Go do that, whatever you got to do, but don't be climbing up the grease pole. Don't be setting the cars on fire yet. Um, it is too early. People are setting stuff on fire. 12-year-old got arrested for driving a truck down the street
I
honking.
mean, uh, free
And
free buddy though. Come on.
I mean, let him out. I hope he learned his lesson.
I hope he got his
Um,
license. Was he
I
driving
mean, he
safe?
definitely don't have his license yet.
I mean, is
And
it just
don't be
because he was
fighting
12?
cops. Don't be fighting
No.
cops just because they're telling you to stay out of the street and stay on the side. Hey guys, back up. Let's get on the sidewalk.
Like I said,
F
it's
you,
like
pig.
if we were fighting cops for a playoff or for a finals win. All right, cool. We're fighting
Look, man,
cops. Fighting cops for a series two game two win.
for a game two win in a series that we're still technically behind on because they have the home field
Yeah,
advantage
for
now.
a series that we're tied in. Come on,
Yeah,
dog.
guys, we ain't honking yet. We ain't honking yet. Let's calm down. I mean, it's too late. It's gonna happen.
What would Kobe
Um,
say?
a lot of people. What would Kobe say?
Kobe
Soft,
soft.
soft.
And Anthony Edwards is one of those guys. who's he's got that like Jordan bug in him. He's like, and I took that personally. He goes and looks at Southwest Military once, and it's a wrap for us.
I'm just watching TikTok feeds from fucking
Yeah,
our San Antonio Instagram and shit like that. He's just gonna go off on us. He's like, I don't need these knees. I need 50
yeah.
points.
He's gonna be out there like Tink Tink dunking all over us, and we lose a series because you wanted to
What
go
I've been trying
honking
to
on
tell
a.
people,
Okay, what do you got? What do you got?
I've been telling people the more you go honking, the more likely Wimby's gonna break his leg.
Oh
All
yeah,
right. Our superstar, our alien, he's a little frail sometimes. He's a big guy, but he's skinny. He can be frail.
yeah. He's working on
Y'all
it,
are
but he's not there yet.
y'all are putting bad juju on us, all right? We got bad black magic that you're building up against us when you go
Mhm.
honking this early.
And I want to see every single one of those people. If that bad juju comes back to bite us, I want to see every single one of those people on Southwest Military apologizing.
It won't.
They won't. You're right. Oh,
The
it's
people
you know
honking on
the
Southwest Military are the people that boo when they see the flag on the field, even though it's clearly not against their team, it's against the other team, but they just start booing because they assume.
yeah.
They're the people that cheer as loud as possible when UTSA defenses or UTSA offense is on the field.
Oh no. They're the ones
Yeah.
they're the ones cheering when there's an injury on the field.
Yeah, they're still like doing chants and stuff, and the announcer has to come on, like, shut up. Real thing that's happened. I don't know if it was UTSA or the Brahmas, but people were like, and
I
like they weren't
believe it's been
cheering the injury,
I believe it's
but
been
they were
both.
cheering in general. Go ahead.
I believe it's been both. I think both times I think we've gone to both, and I think both times we've gone that's happened.
Yeah, he's like, hey, injury on the field. Please be quiet. And I was like, um,
Yeah, so,
shout
I
out to
mean,
my dad.
love the Spurs, love and built as hey, free the homie.
Free the homie.
Love the
Shout
Spurs,
out,
love the belt
shout out to my
as.
dad, cheering when those two kids from Madison got knocked out on the same play. And the whole place was quiet. My dad goes, they don't like to get hit. And it was like,
Oh, classic.
only time I think I've ever gone to my dad and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" As a like under 18 years old or right at 18 years old at that point, and there was no repercussions because it was right.
It's like, you know what? Hand up.
Um,
But yeah,
we're gonna
love
have to
what the
clip
Spurs
that
are.
because that was a good point for the San Antonio people. You guys,
Yeah,
no more honking.
yeah, love what the
No,
Spurs are
not no more
doing.
honking, but let's dial it back. Let's win the Western Conference Finals. Let's beat
Yeah,
the Thunder. Let's beat the Thunder and knock them out, and then let's go honk.
yeah. I mean, I'll even settle for let's beat the Wolves.
No,
You can
no,
have a mini hawk
no,
when you beat the
we gotta
Timberwolves.
dial it in. I mean, okay, you know what? A series win, sure. I'll give you a series win, but it needs to be minor, okay? They don't need to be deploying
Yeah,
riot police in case people get
yeah.
wild
Well,
for beating the Wolves.
I think it's you have one or the other. It's like I think we're not honking or there's riot police at this point because the city, and this is what happens when you tank to get a Wimby. The city forgets what it feels like to win, and then
Mm.
they win it. They make it to the playoffs and they're honking.
If you guys that are honking were this dedicated to the Brahmas, they would still be here right now.
I
You're in a
shudder to
sports drought, and the only thing you have to cheer for is the Spurs because you had the Brahmas. Look at that hat over there. Look at it. Look at that hat over there. They'd still be here right now.
if you
It
had
would have meant
gassed
so
them
much
up,
money. They wouldn't have cared how expensive that Alamo Dome was.
they still be alive if you sports fan had gassed them up.
Well, now I'm sad. We might just end the podcast right here.
Yeah, well,
But we won't. We will go on to the UFL. Let me pull up my UFL cheat sheet
oh
and
yeah,
go through 800 Discord messages that I just got for some reason.
all right. I've been riding so high on these Spurs games that I've completely passed on the UFL this week. Love to hear about them. Can't wait to hear about them. You know what?
Would love.
Let me say this as well. UFL, can
Welcome
we
back.
please start posting the scores on Google?
You know what? Thank you.
This is
Thank
going to
you.
be a rant podcast. UFL, why do I have to go to Google, go to your site, click scores, and scroll to the appropriate week before I can see a score? Why can't I just search Orlando Storm game and get the breakdown like I can with every other sport?
You know what? I'm not going to blame the UFO on that one. I'm going to blame Google on it. I think that's more of a Google thing,
You think Google's safe?
honestly. I will say the scores were a lot easier to access this year, though, because I can get them on ESPN now as well.
True, true.
They're a lot easier to access than they have been in previous years. I do have to go Google and then I have to decide ESPN, UFL, ESPN, UFL, whichever pops up first, I'm clicking.
I go
Um,
UFL because I can just look at the scores and then I can look at what the schedule is for next week with like two buttons
yep,
away.
there you go. So we can now get into the UFL. Let's go over week 6 first. Week
Yeah.
six, first game, we got a Thursday night game. Battlehawks travel and face the Kings. This was a big one, the 2-3 Kings versus the 3-2 Battlehawks. This was a big one. Whoever wins, I mean, both if the Kings win, they're both at 3-3, but this is huge for matchups. The Battlehawks have gotten it back together. They're figuring something out. They win 16-3 versus the Kings. Not a super exciting game, but they do get that much needed win. They move to 4-2. And the Kings, who are the best worst team that we have in the league, fall to 2-4. They are in dire straits. Um, but they're not hopeless, and we'll get to that. Next game, we got our Friday night game. Gamblers versus Aviators rematch. This time the Gamblers travel to Columbus, and I think, like we said last week, the Aviators having the home field advantage is going to be the difference. This time they were going to get the win, and they do. Aviators beat the Gamblers 24-17, moving both of those teams to 2-4. You might catch a pattern here on 2-4. Next game, Renegades versus the Defenders. Do the Renegades finally? Renegades started hot, 3-0, and then the injuries caught up to them against Columbus. Then they lose one, and now they've lost another one. Defenders win 24-6. Defenders move to 5-1. The clear first place now. There's no tie. There's no nothing. They are first place for sure. Um, And obviously the best team in the league. First we thought it was the Renegades, then we thought that, and then oh maybe it's the Storm. It is the Defenders for sure right now, the number one team in the league.
Yep. Alarm bells
Then our
going off
Sunday
in
game.
Dallas. Said
Say
alarm
again?
bells going off in Dallas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Something. Hey, I don't know if it's injuries. I don't know if the trade for Luis Perez was a mistake. But eesh, not the way you want to fall off after such a hot start, a dominating start too. They were kicking ass and taking names.
Yep.
And then our Sunday game, the Stallions traveled to Orlando. The Stallions were 1-4. The Storm 4-1. The Stallions got it put together and pull off the upset against the Storm. So the Stallions keep their playoff hopes as slim as they were alive. They move to 2-4. The Storm, who were 4-0, are now 4-2. So they've lost two straight. So the playoff race 6-7. I did the 6-7 action here for some
You
reason. The
you
playoff
sure
race is
did.
mixing up. Um, fuck, just kill me now. Um,
You're just
I
submitting
can't
that
believe
Unc
it.
status.
So we'll move on to week 7. Um, so a couple things moving into this week. First game is going to be Friday night, 7 p.m. Central. Aviators travel to St. Louis to play the Battlehawks. 2-4 Aviators versus the 4-2 Battlehawks. Battlehawks are a 4.5 point favorite. I think the Battlehawks win by a lot more than that.
I think so too.
Um, they have announced that Luis Perez will be the starter. So he's been there for 2 weeks now. Apparently, he's learned the playbook, and he's going to be starting for the Battlehawks. So the Battlehawks might explode at this point and be getting ready for their big playoff push because they are bringing out the number one quarterback in the league who somehow has not played a game yet. And by saying number one quarterback in the league, as in he's the number one quarterback for the UFL over time. So that is a big roster move for them. Um, Saturday, 12:30, we got the Kings, Orlando, or excuse me, the Louisville Kings traveling to the Defenders. Um,
Ooh.
That's rough.
Hate to see it.
That is
Possible.
rough. The Kings, while one of the best teams in that bottom part of the bracket, there's four teams that are 2-4, and I think they are the best of those teams. They got a gauntlet of a schedule, and they got to play the defenders, um, and they got to play them in DC too, which makes that even
Yeah.
harder.
It,
Um,
go ahead and pencil in
Hard
that
to
two and
see.
five.
DC is a 10-point favorite in this one. And normally I'd be like, that's wild. This is a decent team. But DC has been doing that kind of damage to teams ever since the week three when they've got it all figured out. Um, yeah, that one's rough. You can't pick against the defenders at this point.
Yeah, no. You might as well pencil in that two and five. Louisville's basically going to be hoping that the lower tier teams don't get lucky on their schedule so they can stay in their spot. They're, yeah, they're, yeah, everybody's tied for, well, I mean, they're all flat tied. I guess Birmingham's won the heads up game, maybe?
I can't recall who they've played so far, and I'm too lazy to go back and look right
You know what?
now. So then we got Kings at the Defenders 10-point favorites. Hard to pick against that. Saturday night at 7 Central, we got the Renegades traveling to Birmingham to play the Stallions. Renegades are at 3-3. Stallions are at 2-4. Stallions will beat Orlando Storm last week. The Renegades are on a 3-game slide. As of right now, the Stallions are a 1.5-point favorite, which is basically a pick me. Um, that might be the toughest pick of the week right there.
Yeah,
The Storm or the Kings, who I think everyone is unintentionally cheering for. Um, the Kings need the Stallions to lose. Honestly, actually, no, they want that the other way around. Now that I think about it, they want the Stallions to win
because then the
if
Renegades go
they
to three
can't
and
win,
four.
because both of those teams will move to 3-4. They'll be one game back at 2-5. Um, yeah, if the Renegades win, that moves them to 4-3, which gives them a pretty good head, firmly in that fourth place spot if they get to 4-3. Um, that's a tough game to pick, though. Yeah, I think that's the toughest one of them all. Why is every game? I haven't seen a game that's projected outside of 44 to 48 points, by the way, just for total points scored over unders. Just a quick observation I had to make. And then we move to our Sunday, a 5 p.m. game. We got the Storm traveling to Houston to play the Gamblers.
Oh, I wonder how that game is going to turn out.
That's a good question. Um, Storm are a 3.5-point favorite. The Storm desperately need this win to get back on track. If they do get the win, then they are still fighting for second place with the Battlehawks. If the Kings pull the upset against the Defenders, then it could potentially be a three-way tie for first. I'm ignoring tiebreakers, just going strictly off record at this point. Um, so they're hoping the Kings win. They're hoping the Aviators win, which no. Um, Basically they got to win if they want to try to stay in that race for that top spot. Gamblers have to win if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive because that fourth place spot is still wide
Oh,
open.
yeah.
Let's not call it wide open. The fourth place spot is open though. The Renegades hold that spot right now at 3-3, and then you have four teams at 2-4. So there's a lot going on there.
Although I will say, I don't see it. I mean, even if you get that fourth place spot, I don't see anybody making it to the championship off the fourth place spot.
Um, 2003 UFL champions, the Dallas Renegades, got the fourth place spot with a 4-6 record
Yeah,
and won it.
but these Dallas Renegades are not those Dallas Renegades.
Well, those Dallas Renegades were arguably worse than these Dallas Renegades when
Oh,
these Dallas Renegades were playing their best football.
oh, UFL historian coming out with some vibes.
some deep lore right here. If these guys could just get back to the ball they were playing at the beginning of the season, they can beat anybody. If they keep playing the ball they're playing right now, they're not making it to the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of which, game or week 7, and we have our first playoff clinching scenario this week. How exciting is that? This has to go into tiebreakers because I'm not sure how it works otherwise. Um, if DC wins against the Kings and Columbus loses against the Battlehawks, DC clinches a playoff spot. So if DC wins, the worst they can do is
Oh,
six
you're
and
right.
four.
Hmm.
The best that the Aviators could do would be 5-5. And I'm guessing they have the tiebreakers over the Stallions and the Gamblers already, and over. Well, and if they beat the Kings, they have obviously have the tiebreaker over the Kings because they can't go over 5-5. So they already got the tiebreaker over the Stallions and the Gamblers, beating the Kings. They get it right there, and then the Aviators will be able to get over 5-5. So they clinch a spot.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it coming. I mean, DC has looked pretty dominant against pretty much everybody they've played, save the Battlehawks.
Yeah. Besides that first game of the season, they've been lights out, defending defending champs for a reason, right?
Hmm.
Uh, they look they look electric. Raymond, do you have anything else to add on to the UFL?
I do not. Toilet Bowl 2 was a lot better football than Toilet Bowl 1, I'll say that.
All right, I like
Looks
that.
like it
That's
looks
good ball.
like, Columbus looked like they were figuring some stuff out. Houston maybe as well, but also consider the competition. So, could just be,
Yeah, it's one of the scenarios where you look really good, and then you're like, yeah, but who did you play? Like, oh, we played the local high school, and you're like,
yeah,
yeah. Um, I think we're going into week 7. I'm always excited for football. I think weeks 8 and 9 are going to be the most exciting weeks we have for when it comes to figuring out the playoffs. Granted, some of these lower end teams can get some wins because if they don't, then it's going to be done by week going into week 9. It'll basically be decided. It'll be more of a positioning thing versus a who makes the playoffs.
yeah,
I'm hoping that fourth spot is very competitive. Raymond, that's pretty much all we got for this week. We talked the
yeah.
UFL, we talked the NBA. Normally, right now, I would have a tailgate portion. Hey, what about this part of the tailgate? So, Raymond, we've been throwing a word around a lot in our friendship on this podcast, just in life in general, when we've been hanging out and doing stuff. So I want to do a segment on it. And this is serious. I want people to
Okay.
take this serious. This is very important. Raymond, what part of life right now in becoming an unk has been the worst for you?
The worst part
Raymond,
of
I'll start. I'll give you some time to think. Raymond,
okay.
I can't drink like I did.
Oh,
It's
brother.
hard. It's hard.
For being a two beer unk is
It's rough.
it's rough.
And you know what the worst part about it is? I won't get into my long medical history, but my stomach doesn't empty very fast. I can't do 4 or 5 beers an hour.
Yeah.
4 or 5 beers would have me very tipsy, by the way. But even then, I couldn't do it. If I
You're a bigger
wanted to get
man.
fucked up, I would have to do shots because I would be so miserably full. I can't do it.
You know what we're probably experiencing? This is about the time people start switching to whiskey and scotch.
Honestly, you got a great point. And I was
Because
thinking about that. I was like, if I wanted to do like a drinking challenge or something where I just went and got fucked up with my friends, I would have to do liquor the whole time.
Mhm. because
I'd have to save room for the water I'd have to drink. 'Cause I'm gonna be so damn thirsty from all the liquor.
it's because whiskey gets you can get messed up on less,
Mhm.
and it's it's less, what's the word? It's less invasive almost. It's like you have 2 3 beers and your stomach feels heavy.
Yep.
You wake up the next morning, you feel like shit all day. I mean, speaking as a hunk,
Hmm. Hmm.
I think you really hit on something right there.
I, I was thinking about it in comparison to a tailgate. The best part of the tailgate is drinking with your buddies and eating a lot of food. I don't have room for both anymore. I can't do it.
No.
I can't do it.
You know what?
And
I got
honestly,
I got one. Go ahead,
let me
finish.
finish this thought real quick. Honestly, after the first like 20, 24-ish ounces of beer, it just don't hit the same. It's it's dirty wheat juice. That's all
Yeah.
it is, man. It's dirty wheat juice, and it's hard, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'd rather be doing some Fireball than do some dirty wheat juice.
I'm starting to feel like you know how like I mean it's less of a stereotype now, but you know how people used to talk about wine drinkers? They go, "Oh,
Hmm.
this wine is such a great age. It's got notes of cherry and oak and all that." I'm starting to feel that about drinking beer. Oh, this amber lager, it's got a hoppiness to it. It's got, it feels light and citrusy. It's like, no, like you said, it's just dirty wheat juice with a, dirty wheat
Uh,
juice parentheses light, dirty wheat juice parentheses
yeah,
dark.
yeah, yeah. 90% of the beer I drink now, 10% of it is $2 beer at a baseball game, and the other 90% it's mixed with tomato juice and
Mhm.
spices so that I
Now,
can go to Flavor Town.
now I will throw one exception on that pile. Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy will always
Mm,
be will always be my safe haven. I will talk crap about beer from this age forward, but Leinenkugel Summer Shandy will always be the one that I go, you know what? You're one of the good ones.
the summer tailgate, the summer cookout, the summer barbecue,
Definitely gonna have a
it'll
six pack
slap.
of Summer Shandy on it.
It's gonna slap. All right,
But
Raymond, what's
yeah,
your point?
yeah, I
What's
agree.
your unk regret?
We're going well. We're to put a bow on that. Yeah, I agree. Unc-status, we're moving to liquor. Now, this is a sports podcast, so naturally, we're watching people. You know, also a side one. This isn't my point, but this is a side one. Watching sports and looking at a professional athlete and finding out that that person is 5 years younger than you, that hits a wound that I didn't know existed. But that's not my point.
Hmm.
As we're watching these sports, we're watching people run around, we're watching people moss people, jump over people, dunk on people. Devin Dees, when is the last time you hit a full sprint?
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna tell a story. Okay.
Okay. All right. Story time.
Kate had my wife had an incident late at night. I thought I heard like I was like, why is the cat screeching? And then I listened, and it was my wife screaming my name. Instantly, my heart's in my stomach. I'm like, oh God, something went wrong. She fell. She hurt herself. She found a body. Something went
Mm-hmm.
wrong. I took off up the stairs. I burst into the room. I got to call an ambulance. Turn out she was having an episode of something that I won't describe, not a mental episode or anything like that. It was a
Yeah.
medical thing
Okay.
happening, but it wasn't like a hospital thing. It was like, but she woke up from it and she was so drowsy and she was like, oh, hospital. Everything was good. No trip to the hospital. Everything's fine. She's fine, 100% fine. On reflection, thinking about how fast I got up those stairs, it wasn't inspiring.
Yep.
It wasn't it
That's
was
exactly.
like you hear about those times where like, oh yeah, and the mom who ripped the car off her kids from the
Yep.
adrenaline. The adrenaline was not pushing me through, brother. There's got to be a base, and the base is not there.
You felt like a semi truck leaving a stoplight, right?
100%.
Yep.
100%. Yeah,
Yep.
no, like
I'm
lucky I
12
didn't get
gears
hurt.
in and I'm doing 45. That's exactly how I feel. That is my ugh feeling. I feel like a semi truck leaving a stoplight. I'm rolling through about 17 gears and I'm not up to the speed limit yet.
What hurts me the most is I'll think about like jumping and stuff.
I was That was gonna be my next thing. Devin,
What
I implore you and I implore every other ugh on this planet. At the end of this podcast, get out of your chair and just jump. Jump and touch like a door seal, jump and try to touch the roof or something. You might make it, but it's not gonna feel right.
I used to be able to get like like two steps jump, and I can get my elbow onto the ceiling, like damn near flat.
Mhm.
I'm 5'9". I'm not that tall. I'm not tall at all. I'm a regular sized guy. I can get my elbow on the ceiling. Brother, if I jump now, I get fingertips on the ceiling. Fingertips.
Mhm. I mean, I'm a
I'm
I'm a
I might get 6 inches off the ground.
I'm a taller guy. Parking garages are my favorite because I could hit that those two steps and I could touch probably the top of like one of those like concrete girders. If I do that today, I'm gonna feel like I'm falling from the ISS. I'm gonna get it, but that way down is gonna be. I'm thinking about my health insurance. I'm thinking about I'm 6 to 8 weeks out. My injury report will be flashing before my eyes. I might still land, but
You just get the wear and tear bar
oh yeah,
from
NCAA wear and tear.
NCAA, but you wake every day, it's in the yellow already.
Yeah,
You're
I
at a
do one.
high risk.
I do one of those jumps. It's gonna be a cutout of me all red. That's my unk. And hey, maybe that just means we need to get back in the gym more serious. But you asked what Unc-status is. That's what it is for me right now.
I need to get a treadmill. That's where I need to start. I need to get
I'm already on it, brother.
I need to get that treadmill. I need to set it up right there in that corner. I just need to walk and watch some Bob Does Sports. And okay, that was an hour and a half. All right,
Yep,
my ankles hurt, but I'll. It's a start.
works wonders.
All right. Well, that is the saddest segment that we've ever done
Yep.
on this podcast.
Not really a tailgate, but a conversation you might have at the tailgate.
Like, yeah, at some point we got to recognize that we're all going to be unks.
Mhm. I
You
feel
can
like
be an
it's
in shape unk for sure, because unk is a mentality most of the time,
Mhm.
but there's also a physical aspect to it. But you can avoid that part. And next great series from Tailgate Sports Media, me and Raymond fending off unk as long as possible.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like us on a hill. Like you ever see the movie The One
So you
with
have
Jet Li? Oh, there's a scene at the end of it. It's basically a clone movie. There's a scene at the end of it where he's standing on a mountain fighting all of his clones to death, and he just fades away where you see a million of him coming up. That's what us fighting off Unk is gonna be.
fuck, man. Oh, you know what? Let's wrap this up because I'm gonna
Yeah.
go walk right now. I'm going for a walk right now. Raymond, anything else to add to this week?
No, I think that about caps it off.
Yeah, I'm pretty depressed now, so I need to go for this walk. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. This was episode 31. We talked the playoffs, we talked the UFL playoff race started to heat up, and we talked about slowly transcending into becoming an unk. And it's got me depressed. So we're going to end it there. Thank you so much. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow us on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Possibly. Possibly.
Oh,
Lord
fuck.
willing, am I right?
End it. End it.